Here's everywhere I stayed while I was in Nigeria. The first place I stayed at was the Vertigo Hotel, and I would not recommend this. 1.4 out of 5. The room itself is beautiful, although the bathroom setup is very interesting. However, from the time we checked in, they put us in the Blowfish because they gave our reservation away and then tried to tell me that it was the same equivalency of the room that I booked, which it was not. So they put us in the Vertigo, a step below the room that we actually paid for. It wasn't until the next day that I was finally put in this room. Then they try to make you seem like you're the problem for expecting what you paid for. The customer service was terrible from start to finish. I was never refunded for my first night. The food was mid, and despite the fact this room is advertised as soundproof, it is not. There is a club on top of the hotel, which I didn't have an issue with. However, if it's not soundproof, don't advertise it as such. Okay, let's get out of Lagos and go to Port Harcourt. So this was a very last minute reservation for me. I was actually supposed to stay with my uncle, but he ended up going to the village. So thank goodness they had availability because Port Harcourt, Lagos is full. If anything, I just needed somewhere to lay my head because I knew I was going to be spending the majority of my time with my family, and this hotel definitely delivered with that. Plus, the decorations for Christmas were so cute. The food was pretty good. If you're looking for a place that has great security, this is it. Honestly, the only thing I didn't like was the room was very dimly lit. We are back in Lagos at the Sojourner by Genesis. We stayed in Ikeja on the mainland, not on Victoria Island, and this was my favorite place out of all of the hotels I stayed at. The hotel is very secure, so you won't have to worry about security. And look at all of the lighting in this room. It was so well lit. Like, yes, there are more lights that could be put in on the ceiling, but because of the windows and how open it was very well lit. As you can see, it is a very spacious room, which actually ended up working out perfectly because 3 of my cousins came to spend the day. They ended up ultimately spending the night. So 4 of us were able to sleep in the king bed while my husband was on the couch. So I'm really glad that I ended up getting this room. The pool is also really nice. The only reason why I'm honestly taking 1.5 stars off is because we had to beg for towels, and the food options at the buffet were kind of limited, but this was the best place.